almost silenced their thunder. Giants driven to the brink. In the cauldron of Yellowstone, a handful of these primeval beasts made a roaring comeback. Marvels of bioengineering, bison look invincible. But this American icon would be nothing without the lethal forces that shaped it. And now they've come back too. The wolf and the grizzly. Each out to kill. Even the landscape delivers death. And then there's the season of war, when bison do battle with each other. For the first time in nearly a century, the thunderbeast confronts its ancient adversaries on America's Serengeti. Under the chill spring skies of Yellowstone National Park, a drama of death and redemption is about to unfold. A herd of buffalo, also called bison, surround a fallen comrade. A victim of the park's brutal winter, a bull has died, and the herd seems reluctant to leave it. But the arch-enemy draws near. Wolves. Other than man, the only true challenger of the thunderbeast. They're enticed by the stench of death. At first, the wolves seem to carry the day. But the bison won't abandon the field. They return to their fallen, for now. Theirs is an ancient score, nearly settled by the black hole of extinction. Bison once beat trails across North America, shadowed by the wolf. Tens of millions blackened the endless rolling plains. But when the West was won, the bison and the native people who depended on them lost. In the last decades of the 19th century, bison range shrank drastically. By 1908, only about 1,000 buffalo remained, most in captivity. 23 wild bison beat the odds in a remote corner of Yellowstone National Park. And here, their comeback began. Now, their descendants number about 5,000. But wolves have a sadder tale to tell. Despised and persecuted, they were exterminated in the park by 1926. Then, in 1995, Yellowstone reintroduced Canadian grey wolves. The park's new wolves felt at home among the elk. They instantly went on the attack, with stunning success. But most of these Canadian wolves had never seen a thunderbeast. Today, for the first time in 70 years, the ancient enemies face off. And as they revive their age-old conflict, the wild heart of Yellowstone beats again. Spring is a season of violence and rebirth. A bison cow heads alone into a wolf-filled world. Only one instinct has the power to make her leave her herd. Labor moves quickly. She checks for life. It's a bull. He's 18 kilos of pure instinct. These first hours are critical. He should be on his feet in 10 minutes and in an hour, ready to run. And he'll need to run. During his first year, his herd will migrate through the northern range, where wolves rule the turf like street gangs. The Slough Creek Pack, the Druid Pack, the Agate Creek Pack. These wolves have only begun hunting bison, but they get it. Pursued by ravenous killers, this calf will be a constant target. He's got only a 50-50 chance of surviving the year. But his first challenge is close to home, his own herd. One of the firstborn of the season, he's the object of their fascination. His mother fends off the more aggressive beasts, some 40 times his size. Snowstorms haunt Yellowstone well into spring, giving predators an edge. Winter-killed bison are fast food for hungry grizzlies emerging from their dens. Calves make a warm snack if the bear gets the chance. With pups in the den, the wolves' hunger grows. They set out to hunt and target bison calves. But it won't be easy. In a world of wolves, a bison calf shouldn't tempt fate. The wolves approach, feigning disinterest. But their coolness may signal something else, that nature has already done their dirty work. Cow arrives, tense and vulnerable. The wolves have snatched her stillborn calf. The herd reacts, their ancient hostility ignited. sacrifice of one calf means others will live, at least until the wolves grow hungry again. Finally, the storm passes. Higher up on a mountain slope, bear cubs tumble like young thugs from their den. A bison bone makes a grisly toy. At this age, a frolic with a femur beats tangling with a live bison. Coyotes used to be top dog here, but the return of the wolf has devastated them. Targeted by their larger cousins, the coyote population has been slashed in half in the northern range. Some hazards attack only a coyote's dignity, but prove lethal to others. A favorite bison trail cuts across blacktail ponds. The herds cross easily in winter, but spring turns the trail into a death trap. Older, more experienced cows lead the way, perhaps listening for cracks or sniffing for close water. Today, it's too risky. They'll play it safe on the long route. At a nearby pond, luck runs out for these bison. One wrong step is all it took. In water that would have killed a human in minutes, the powerful cow struggles for 4 hours before slipping under. The young bull hangs on longer. Bison drown here every year. And the other residents count on it. Winged scavengers alert a grizzly to sunken treasure, a tantalizing feast just out of reach. He tests the ice to see if it will bear his 230 kilos. But his weight and the weight of a 450-kilo bison. The spectacle draws a hungry audience. Even a grizz this size will leave something behind. And the eagles, ravens, and coyotes know it. Come summer, Yellowstone's young thunderbeasts begin survival training. Each calf may get only 6 months of his mother's undivided attention. He needs to pack on about 20 kilos per month to survive the coming winter. This feisty guy could be 4 years away from battling other bulls, but he's already sparring with his mother. It's all about the headbutt. Mum wallows in dust, a bison trick to foil insects. During the rut, or mating season, the big guys also do it to intimidate rivals. He gives it a good try. But there's not enough thunder in this beast. Then there's the ritual of rubbing off an old coat for the rutting season to come. But survival takes more than copying adults, as the calf is about to find out. The Druid Peak Pack is on the prowl. Like other Yellowstone packs, they're becoming bison hunters, relearning the brutal art of hunting prey that fights back. Their more familiar prey, elk, usually just run. The calf is oblivious to approaching danger. Moving in from downwind, the wolves scope out the edges of the herd. They catch the calf and his mother off guard, cutting them off from the rest of the group. Driving the lone pair up a ridge, the wolves press their advantage. A bison's kick sends a wolf airborne. With injuries, he'll be lucky to survive. The rest of the pack continues the attack. The calf could be doomed. But the cavalry has arrived. The bison herd has called in reinforcements. It's a stalemate. These wolves, still relearning their deadly tactics, know when it's time to give up. The calf owes his life to the herd. With many powerful bison in most herds, they have the clout to defend their young. But for a calf, family life is full of surprises. Who knows when a nice wallow with mum will be interrupted? Bison herds follow a rigid hierarchy. Females on top. Older, more experienced cows rule. Younger cows and their offspring rank lower. Young bulls need constant reminding that the adult cows run the show. After a few years with the herd, most mature bulls strike out on their own. They'll wander the high plains until the call of the rut drives them back to the herd for the ultimate challenge. A full-grown bull is equipped to survive and fight. Awesome size, armor, and agility. He'll weigh about 900 kilos and stand almost 2 meters tall at the hump, a third of a meter taller and much heavier than a bison cow. He'll develop the distinctive, big-shouldered, low-slung hip design of the bull. His huge rib cage encases massive lungs. The vertebrae on his hump grow to a third of a meter in length. From this fulcrum, tendons and muscles stretch to support his enormous head and to power his forelegs. On top of this colossal frame, he grows a dense, shaggy coat of armor. On his head, the fur mats into a helmet 8 centimeters thick, a natural shock absorber. Where his front is engineered for power, his rear is built for speed. These well-muscled limbs are remarkably agile. And the back hooves can deliver a powerful death blow. Kilo for kilo, the American bison bull is a potent fighting machine, ready to deploy in the coming season of war. Summer arrives late to Yellowstone. Rivers become raging torrents. In the valley where the bison graze, waters run fast, deep, and treacherous. But better grazing lies beyond, and where a mother goes, her calf must follow. Bison are strong swimmers, nearly from birth, but sometimes the current is stronger. A young calf gets swept away. When his mother reaches shore, he's not at her side. He's far downstream, in trouble. The bank seems impossibly high. Somehow he finds the strength. Still trailing his umbilical cord, this calf can't be more than 2 or 3 days old, one of the last bison born this season. By July, Yellowstone's predators are busy raising their own newcomers. Coyote pups are born about the same time as the bison calves. 3 months old and weaned of milk. Now they demand meat, regurgitated from the returning adult. Other killers in training learn the basics of the chase, with limited results. Their mother, a grizzly sow, hunts nearby for elk calves hidden in the sage, but so far, no luck. As grizzly numbers rise, so does competition, forcing the bears to seek new prey. An adult thunderbeast is too tall an order, but their calves look tempting. To feed her hungry cubs, she'll pit herself against an entire herd of bison. A bison calf. A hungry predator. A powerful mother. Is it worth the danger? This grizzly can't risk alarming the herd. She'll need speed and cunning. And surprise. Despite her size, the bear can run at 55 kilometers per hour. The bison is just as fast, but not her calf. The herd stampedes away, unaware of the bear's ambush. Now the bear separates calf from cow with the skill of a rodeo cowboy. The mother fights back, but too late. The cow is reluctant to accept the death of her calf. The cruel arithmetic of this hunt means one thing to the herd. They can graze in peace until the next predator shows up. But sometimes the tables get turned. The bison herd has grazed its way right up to the coyote den, and the pups are clueless. With their parents out foraging, they face the herd alone. Bad news for the pups. The good grazing here means the giants just keep coming. And the bison show no respect for the coyote's role as predator. Outnumbered and outsized, the pups bail. The herd gathers on top of the coyote den, taking in odors of coyote urine and scat, savoring their victory over the coyotes. But not so fast. The adult coyotes have arrived, ready for damage control. Priority number one, find the pups. The mother sends out her mustering call. But things only get worse. A large and powerful wolf. When wolves find coyotes on their turf, the coyotes' days are numbered. And this wolf is no different. To save their pups, the coyotes gang up to drive the wolf off their turf. It's time to move their den to a safer neighborhood. By midsummer, each bison calf has grown closer to becoming a thunder beast. They've mastered the river crossing, and they're trading in their orange coats for the deep brown of the herd. A playful coyote teaches a calf the bison's stand and fight method of dealing with predators. In the season of plenty, it's all in good fun. But when a yearling joins the game, the coyote bows out. During the brief summer, Yellowstone's bison spend their waking hours fattening up for winter. Every bite counts, and any grass or forb will do, including woody ones. No wonder they survived better than cattle on the harsh plains, and came to dominate this unforgiving land. They owe it all to a remarkable four-chambered gut that can process up to 23 kilos of vegetation a day. Partly chewed grass slides into the first chamber, the rumen, a giant fermentation vat full of microbes that break down cellulose, the tough cell walls of grass. Then they bring it back up and chew it into a mash. The mash sloshes through 3 more stomach chambers, which suck out almost every bit of nutrients, then into the intestines. The finale is a marvel of digestion. What's left over feeds insect grubs. In search of these larval delights, ravens flip bison pies with gusto. In midsummer, a stranger lumbers back to the herd. It's a bull, a big one, after only one thing, and practically reeking of testosterone. Even a grizzly and her cub grant him his manly space. In his wake come others, competitors from far and wide. Some are old hands with many a brutal battle behind them. Others are newcomers to the field of combat. Only one will dominate. The bone-jarring spectacle of the rut is upon them. Thunder cracks the air, not from the skies, but from the clash of titans. For the next 3 months, the bulls battle for the right to mate. It's a complicated chess match for sex. On any day of the rut, only 3 females in this whole playing field might be in estrus. His challenge is to find one. And he has to score before one of the other guys gets her. It's no time to be subtle. The giant, drooling bulls whiff the girl's perfume. The way to a bull's heart is through his nostrils. They're not shy about checking out the goods up close. Glands in their noses tell them just how near the cows are to estrus. If she's heating up, he sticks by her side. Sometimes she keeps him hanging for days. Sometimes another bull wants to horn in on the same cow. Let the gladiator games begin. Brawling is exhausting and dangerous, so first they try macho posturing. It takes some slick moves and a keen sense of fashion. Swaggering always makes an impression. So does a good bellow. Turning broadside to a rival doesn't seem smart, but it shows off that manly physique. Time to hit the dirt. To mark turf, bulls may urinate in a wallow before they paw and roll. The flying dust could broadcast their male pheromones. Only when all else fails do they resort to violence. Bulls aim to kill by goring their rivals. A third of the mature bulls in a herd sport broken ribs, or worse. In Yellowstone, the rut season whips into a frenzy by early August. The headbutting makes it seem like the bulls call the shots, but in the end, it's the girls who pick the guys. she doesn't like her suitor, she'll bolt. When a cow in heat runs through the herd, chaos and fighting follow in her wake. This older, more experienced cow can take her time selecting a stud. Her calf doesn't know what to think. And now there's a younger man trying to catch her eye. A first-timer, 4 years old and all stoked up, wants his chance. Skipping the formalities, he picks a fight with an older bull. Youth and enthusiasm, but experience triumphs. The older bull returns to find the cow finally receptive. 15 seconds and it's over. But to seal his conquest, he stalks her for a half hour or so, making sure no other bull tries to mate her. For the calf, this marks the beginning of the end of his relationship with his mother. This year's rut is over, leaving the bulls exhausted and thinner. A bull can burn up almost 100 kilos in the heat of bovine passion. Only a very few champions sire most of the calves in a herd. Many of the other wannabes fought mightily and achieved nothing. Some slink home injured. Others die from infected wounds. And this old man probably just fought the final battles of his life. Survivors head for pastures with high-protein grasses. If they don't bulk up, the coming winter could be their last. They leave in their wake sad reminders of life's struggle. As the days shorten, the calves reach 6 months of age. By fall, these 20-kilo orange newborns have grown to some 130 kilos, but they're still a long way from full-grown thunderbeast. The bison and the elk, the season of the wolf, is just around the corner. With winter coming and small prey gone scarce, wolves band together. They stage carefully coordinated attacks to pull down larger quarry or starve. Bison can sprint over 50 kilometers per hour, nearly as fast as a racehorse. Wolves can match them, and they share the bison's remarkable stamina. So the bison needs all its armory. Thick hide, sharp hooves, and that killer kick. Above all, there's the herd, rallying around a desperate comrade, pulling together to drive off the hungry canines, for a while at least. With the snows of October comes the season of the wolf. and their battle cry of domination. For Yellowstone's Thunderbeast, the time of reckoning is here. Snow is the wolf's ally in all things, and the bison's mortal enemy. Sometimes just finding grass burns more energy than eating it provides. But their mighty low-slung heads can plow through snow, and their digestion slows to help them get nourishment from woody plants. Worse than snow is ice. Favorite trails become treacherous. One missed step could mean a broken leg, a death sentence. Some of Yellowstone's bison exploit its spectacular geology, basking in its natural sauna. But where fire and ice meet, danger dwells. Winter ratchets up the cruelty factor. Competitors who tolerate each other in summer can't afford that luxury in harsh times. An elk calf, spooked from its own herd by coyotes, seeks desperate refuge among the bison. But there will be no welcome here. As the coyotes circle, the bison try to drive the elk calf away. They want nothing to do with this intruder, who brought hungry canines into their midst. The poor calf is caught between predators it could normally evade and a herd that wants it gone. Deep snowdrifts compound her plight. Again, she chooses the brutal bison over the ravenous coyotes. But the young male bison grow even more aggressive. The coyotes wait for their work to be done for them. The calf gets pitched in the air by a bison's lethal horns. She's down and helpless. The bison herd seems puzzled. Finally, they see her off, sentencing her to certain death. She becomes a rare winter's feast for the coyotes. Yellowstone's killing cold reaches its worst, taking its toll on the herd. As temperatures drop, tensions rise. The old cows fight younger animals for grazing rights. The young bison have an especially hard time finding decent grazing. The entire herd grows weak. And the wolves of the Slough Creek pack know it. Emboldened by the herd's vulnerability, they test even full-grown animals for weakness, becoming a constant torment. A cow trailing the herd becomes a target. They separate her and close in from all sides. The wolves might just get their thunder beast. The cow's only hope. The herd can no longer spare the energy to defend every member from attack. Once she goes down, death soon follows. Her calf walks alone for the first time in his life. The wolves seem to celebrate victory. For Yellowstone, it's a grim and paradoxical victory too, a sign that the park is returning to its ancient balance. The wolves have relearned the art of taking down the mighty thunder beast. The cow's death will strengthen the herd. The bison that survive the wolves will live to breed next year. And so it goes, redemption marked in blood as two ancient enemies rekindle a primeval feud, a natural order that humans nearly annihilated. But the season of the wolf is drawing to its close. Canada geese trumpet the opening of the spring season. And new dangers. Now nature herself targets the bison again. Only half of last year's calves have survived the winter, and they have one last hurdle to clear before the odds change in their favor. Once again, the mighty creatures are on thin ice. Today, it's a calf, one who lost his mother to wolves in the deadly winter. He struggles blindly into deeper water, then back towards land. His herd will move on soon. The banks are undercut and difficult to climb. A bull draws close, providing just enough encouragement. The calf stands, cold, miserable, but alive. Instead of offering comfort, the herd tense and bristle at him, tails up. Caked with mud, he doesn't look or smell like one of their own. And it seems he's about to get the same treatment as the hapless elk calf. His mother would have recognized his voice, but she's no longer here. The pond didn't kill him, but the herd just might. Fortunately, he dried off and became a bison again, resuming his place in the herd. With the coming of spring, the calf reaches his first birthday. He survived the most difficult year of any bison's life. Now he joins the ranks of the gangly yearlings, one step closer to life as a thunder beast. With luck, he'll live to fight, to mate, and to sire generations of Yellowstone bison. The bison have returned. Tested by wolves and winters, the evolutionary forces that make them stronger. Once again, America's thunder beast reigns over Yellowstone, and anywhere else we make room for them. As they were, they're once again at home on the range.